Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about probably at this point one of the biggest acquisitions in gaming history. You may have already heard the news, but Activision Blizzard has just been announced to be bought out by Microsoft for the tune of $70 billion. Now, this is actually incredible. I mean, we're going to be talking about how this might be affecting the gaming industry from the immediate future all the way down the line of even to like a decade. This is going to be a pivotal moment for so many different gaming franchises. Call of Duty being a huge one that we're going to talk about in this video, of course, but the amount of acquisitions that Microsoft and Xbox have been pulling off in the last few years is phenomenal. I mean, we've seen them come from a point where people have been able to criticize Xbox for its lack of exclusives that can compete with Sony to the point that if they wanted to, they could pull together some of the biggest franchises of all time all together on Xbox and absolutely dominate. So yes, the news has come out, it's been trending all day, it's been blowing up, people are really hyped up about this news, and for good reason. So obviously, Microsoft has amassed this massive amount of content now under their own name and everything. They have obviously dominated the computer industry for a very long time. Windows, I think, is still the most popular OS by a very wide margin. And they've been trying to recently kind of expand into these consumer products like this and trying to get more into the, more integral parts of people's lives now. And basically what they're doing by making this massive purchase with all these different game studios in the previous years, but now with Activision Blizzard, is they're betting on video games in the future, okay? That's basically what's going on here. They are basically making the bet that video games are going to continue to become more and more important to the everyday life of people. And I mean, this has already been the case, basically, if you look at the numbers, basically for the last few decades. Video game sales and the video game industry's value in general has absolutely exploded. It continues to rise. It seems like every year, right, we're seeing these new records be set by all these different franchises for sales, right? Call of Duty will come out and break its own sales record, right? Or obviously, Activision Blizzard has been in a lot of trouble recently. Their stock shares have plummeted because of the sexual misconduct allegations that not only were brought up and surfaced from the company, but also that were very poorly responded to by the company itself. Pretty much ever since the announcements first came out, there's been this rolling wave of information in the media that has basically been targeting Activision Blizzard over this whole thing. So obviously, they've been in a little bit of trouble themselves, right? So this purchase for them makes absolute sense, right? Microsoft is a tried and true business. You really have no issues about them closing down, right? Microsoft is pretty much here to stay at this point. So pretty much guarantees that your company is going to live on in some form. And also at the same time, it's a way to step away from all of this history, right? It's a way for them to step away from all of the terrible things that have happened at their company to their employees. Maybe bring in new people to try and rebuild the image of your company and try to, get the culture, the workplace culture, the employee culture and mentality kind of changed around, so that you don't have to worry about legitimate criminals being in your organization anymore. And also, news is indicating that Bobby Kotick, who is the CEO of Activision Blizzard, will also be stepping down after this purchase by Microsoft is finalized, which is also incredible news because this guy has been dragged through the ringer, right? And very deservingly so. Even before the allegations and everything came out, gaming fans hated him because of the way that he ran Activision. As you guys know, this company has been one of the greediest, most money-hungriest companies on the planet, basically, for years now, right? And under his leadership, it seems like shit has only gotten worse on those kinds of fronts, so people already didn't like him. But then when it has come out that he basically was indifferent to the entire thing that happened with their company and didn't really want to do anything to make changes that were necessary, it pretty much made it to where he's just universally unfavorably looked upon, right? Like, people just don't fucking like this guy. It's a horrible decision to keep him as CEO for this company. I don't never understood that decision myself, but it doesn't really look like that's going to be a worry anymore, so he will be stepping down, meaning that new leadership is very likely to be coming into Activision Blizzard, and people are starting to wonder, what this purchase means for the broader gaming sphere, right? So I just want to run through a small list of the games and franchises that Microsoft is now in control of. Xbox Game Studios and Microsoft is now in control of developing and publishing Age of Empires, Forza, Gears of War, Halo, Minecraft, Fallout, Microsoft Solitaire, Microsoft Flight Simulator, Doom, The Elder Scrolls, all of the other games that their studios own and publish, and they're now adding Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Overwatch, Call of Duty, Hearthstone, Diablo, and Candy Crush. Oh, and also World of Warcraft, obviously that's a Blizzard game. So that alone is a list and a lineup of some of the most successful franchises in gaming history. And combined with the other studios that they have, Microsoft now has a dominating lineup, a dominating force of games across PC, console, and mobile devices. I think people still really underestimate how popular Candy Crush still is till this day. It's still one of the most popular mobile games in the world. Hearthstone is a massive card game, right? You know, Diablo is a huge video game franchise. Overwatch, right? One of the biggest FPSs. Call of Duty is the biggest FPS. They still have also Halo. They literally control 3 of the biggest FPS franchises in the world. They have the, legendary MMORPG in World of Warcraft, Minecraft, all these other games. Like there's not anyone really contesting that lineup, right? Like, it's getting to the point where Microsoft is just dominating, right? Like, and if they keep this up, if they keep spending money and acquiring all these game studios and these franchises, dude, they're going to be literally unstoppable. And what this means too is they now have the right, if they choose to make all of these games exclusive to the Xbox. Can you imagine if you needed to buy an Xbox or have like Xbox Game Pass on PC to play Overwatch, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Candy Crush, Minecraft, Halo, Forza, any Fallout game basically, Age of Empires, Gears of War, Elder Scrolls games, right? Like, it would be insane, right? You're not contesting that. That's just such a crazy lineup of games. Minecraft alone is one of the most popular video games of all time. Call of Duty is the best-selling video game every single year, right? And that doesn't even include like the games like Sea of Thieves and Devil May Cry and like The Outer Worlds and all these other games that they also have control over. They even have Wolfenstein, man. Like, they have everything in their hands. If they wanted to make all of these Xbox exclusive titles, it's getting to the point where you could question if Nintendo has the IPOs to contest this, man. Like, this is an insane roster of games. Now, of course, if you have paid any attention to what Xbox has done, this is not likely to be the case, right? Obviously, if you cut all these games off of like the PlayStation and everything like that, you're still severely diminishing sales. Like, that just isn't in Microsoft's best intentions, even if it would give them a dominating lineup on their platform of gaming to dominate with. It would cut the sales so much. It just isn't the move that they want to make. In fact, Xbox has been committed to keeping all of these games as universally published as they can. They've owned Minecraft since I was in like high school, maybe even like I might have been in middle school when they got bought, man, but like they bought them so long ago, and obviously you can play Minecraft on anything. I'm pretty sure you can play Minecraft on like a smart fridge if you really wanted to at this point, man. Like they ported, Skyrim to literally everything ever made. You could probably play that damn thing on a telegraph machine. So basically what Microsoft is doing at this point is like this expand and conquer kind of strategy, right? Instead of consolidating everything in at one point, they've basically bought all of these gaming franchises and put them out on everything. That way, even if someone is playing on a PS5, they're still giving Microsoft that money, right? Microsoft is still profiting off of a Sony purchase to a pretty significant degree. I mean, when you own the franchises that are being played, you basically are the one making that money, right? And obviously Microsoft is one of the biggest companies on the planet. They have spending money. They can afford this, right? They can do these things with ease. And at this point, man, Xbox Game Pass is going to have such a ridiculous lineup of games on it that you can play for, $4.99, $9.99 a month, whatever it is, that it's going to be there's no contest, man. In my opinion, Xbox Game Pass is already by far the best deal that you can get in video games, but at this point, man, it's going to be completely dominant, right? Like, it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, what I personally think they should do with Xbox Game Pass is they should, even do what they're doing with all these other franchises, and they should just put it on, PlayStation and Nintendo, man. I know that that's going to sound maybe like a culture shock or whatever, stupid, but do you know how much money they could make if they went on Sony's platform and still just shit all over Sony's competitive product? PlayStation Now, or whatever it's called, is it's not enough, man. It's still not contesting Game Pass in my opinion, but at this point, if they put Call of Duty and all these other games on it, it'd be a fucking blowout. It'd be 140 to nothing. If they could competitively get that on that platform and you could have PlayStation fans buying Xbox Game Pass, dude, it would be such a middle finger to Sony, and honestly, I think it'd be a really good business strategy, man. I think a lot of PlayStation fans would buy it because it's clearly the better deal. Most people I know have Xbox Game Pass. Like, I play exclusively on PC at this point, and I have Xbox Game Pass. It's just that good of a deal, man. You really can't beat it. So what does this have for, I guess, an impact on Call of Duty, right? So this is the point where I want to talk about, as a franchise, is this it, right? Because like a lot of COD fans are really excited about this news. Because a lot of Call of Duty fans are nostalgic for the golden age of Call of Duty, which in that time period, right, Xbox had the exclusivity deal, right? So back in like 2012 on Black Ops 2, I had a PS3. All my friends at school, they had Xbox 360s, right? So I was one of the only kids with the PlayStation. There was like 2 or 3 of us, right? So all these kids would basically clown us for having PlayStations because on Xbox, they would get all the new Call of Duty DLC packs like a month early. So they would get like the new maps and like the Peacekeeper and stuff like that 30 days earlier than we would on PlayStation. So, you know, by the time that we on PlayStation got like the new Zombies map, they already had done all the Easter eggs. They already had told everything about it, spoiled it, been dicks. And like that sucked, right? Obviously not having that, but PlayStation is currently actually in control of the exclusivity, right? So they get the like early shit and like the beneficial deals and whatnot with Call of Duty. I'm pretty sure competitive COD is played on like the PS4 and PS5, so I'm not sure if that's going to continue past the point where that contract would expire. I don't know when that's set to end or if it even really has like an expiration date on the contract or whatever. Maybe they renew it year by year. I'm not actually even sure at this point, but I would venture to guess that that's probably going to be ended and brought back to Microsoft because that would make the most sense for their product, right? The real question is, will it affect the actual product for Call of Duty, right? Because obviously Call of Duty fans have been pretty unimpressed with the product in recent years. I know that the sales numbers would indicate opposites with that, but I don't know, man. It just seems like every COD fan I know complains about the goddamn game because, well, they really haven't been that good. So I don't know if this means that Activision will be pulled a little bit back off of the developers so that they can create a better product, right? Like, because that's what a lot of people hypothesize, is that a lot of Call of Duty's failures is due to the fact that Activision's overstepping or whatever. So is that going to change? I don't know, because obviously under Activision's reign, it's become one of the most popular and one of the most profitable also franchises of all time. I mean, it makes so much money. It's usually the best-selling game every single year. So I'm not sure that Microsoft is going to be able to just jump in and make that change, right? Because if it's not broken, don't fix it. And in their view, it's a business move, right? It's not about the product. They probably could care less if the game actually fucking sucks, if it's still the best-selling game every year. The only way I really anticipate the Call of Duty franchising is if and when sales begin to really drop off. Because that's really the only way to talk to these businesses, right? Like, sure, you can fucking complain on their Twitter account, and then they just mute you, right? They don't ever listen to another tweet you put out. I'm pretty sure Call of Duty developers stopped listening to me, like, 6 years ago when I was first shitting on the game, right? Because, I mean, at this point, dude, it's pretty clear that Call of Duty has yet to actually change, right? Like, they've dug up pretty much everything good about the franchise and replanted it with, you know, shit that makes them the most money, because that's what businesses do. They're here to make money. They don't give a fuck. You know, if you're buying the product, why do they care? But let's say, you know, hypothetically, Microsoft is just our saving grace for this franchise. They say they're not happy with the creative direction. They step in, they force changes, and next thing you know, Call of Duty's getting, you know, a year off, you know, and they're extending the life cycle of Call of Duties to give the developers more time to actually finish the product, right? And they're actually doing things that fans ask, like lowering skill-based matchmaking and giving ranked play on the launch day of the game, right? Let's say that does happen. That would be an absolute miracle, and it could bring Call of Duty back to its glory days, I guess, you know, but it just doesn't seem likely enough, right? There's no real incentive for Microsoft to do this. There's no real option other than, hey, we're already making money, and we're making a fucking lot of it, so why do we care? What you also have to remember is the developers of Call of Duty are also making some of these stupid fucking decisions, right? Like when it comes down to some of the things that people have been complaining about for a long time, like, you know, the map design, the fact that they like to add these fucking doors and stuff all over the map that just encourage people to sit in a corner and aim at a door waiting for you, the fact that the game's color schemes look like someone threw up McDonald's after a fucking night out drunk. These are all creative decisions that are made by the artists and the developers, right? Like, it's not like Activision came in like, hey guys, your guys' map design back in BO2, Modern Warfare 2, MW3, it was too fucking good. You guys were making some of the greatest, most critically acclaimed, first-person shooter maps ever. We really don't like that, so can you please water down the design and make it garbage and make it user-friendly for people who've never played the game at the expense of the people who've stuck by the franchise for decade now, fucking playing the game or whatever, right? Like, it's not like that's what's going on. These are decisions being made in-house by Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, and Treyarch, okay? The issues with the game not getting enough updates, right? Fucking Modern Warfare 2019 is literally unplayable to a good portion of its player base. This comes down to the studios themselves, man, like the developers. Many of the employees who made the original golden age of Call of Duty that we all loved have just simply moved on, man. I don't think Treyarch is ever gonna make zombies as good as it was in the early to mid 2010s. I don't think Infinity Ward is ever going to make any type of shooter that is ever going to stand side by side with any of the first 3 Modern Warfare games. I don't think Sledgehammer will ever put up a Call of Duty that even stands the test of time alongside some of those original CODs. And I'm talking about a game that they led, okay? You can say, oh, well, they worked on Modern Warfare 3. Yeah, they worked on it, you're right, they helped finish it. But it's not their game, you know what I mean? It's an Infinity Ward game. Advanced Warfare, World War II, and fucking Vanguard, those are Sledgehammer games. Honestly, Sledgehammer is easily the worst of the 3 Call of Duty developers as is. And at this point, if they were replaced by Raven or somebody else, I would not fucking complain in the slightest. The skill-based matchmaking, this is something COD fans have also been upset about for a long time. This is not probably going to change because Microsoft bought the company. As much as it sucks to say, skill-based matchmaking is just profitable, man. I mean, you gotta think, right? They're trying to sell this game to people who don't play games and who, are playing for maybe the first time. They're trying to expand their consumer base as much as possible. They already know the people buying Call of Duty since COD 4 are gonna buy the next COD. Because they do it every year. Even though we all say, oh, I'm not buying the next COD, this one fucking sucked, I'm not even looking at the trailer. We still end up watching that trailer and putting the pre-order through, right? The amount of, like, mental, I guess, kidnapping that Activision has done over the COD franchise is crazy, but they already know they got those people. Now they're trying to get people, who work a fucking 9 to 5 and only have 45 minutes to play the game every night, right? They're not here grinding and becoming good, but they also don't want them playing their game 3 times and getting the fuck off and never buying a crazy skin for their AK. So they're trying to keep these people on the game, and you can't keep them on the game if, the guy who's been playing for 15 years is constantly dropping 90 fucking kills on his head, even though that's fun, and that's what people want to do, it's not profitable. So obviously that's where the skill-based matchmaking comes in. And yes, the older Call of Duty games, they did have skill-based matchmaking, like Black Ops 2, it had it, okay? The developers have already said it, but the thing is, it wasn't as strong, right? I remember playing literally weeks of my life worth of Black Ops 2, and never once was the skill-based matchmaking like what it is today, man. Like, it just was a completely different video game in every right compared to a COD now. So it's a big deal. It really is. I mean, it's gonna shape gaming for the next 10 years. This is gonna be one of the landmark deals in gaming history. So many franchises are now under Microsoft's control that, with them being so, instantaneously shifts Microsoft and Xbox's position in the gaming industry. They really have, I think, started to close that gap with Sony in a lot of ways. I mean, Sony has been outselling them in terms of consoles for a while. I'm pretty sure they outsold them, obviously, with the PS2. Pretty sure they outsold them with the PS3. I might be wrong about that, but they outsold with the PS4, and I think they're outselling with the PS5 now. So if I'm right, that's 4 generations of consoles that they've been smoking Microsoft in sales. And these are the types of purchases that you make, and it can start to shift those numbers for real, man. It just depends what they do with the products that they've, I guess, acquired here. It really comes down to them, man. But regardless, this is still a seismic shift. It really does mean a lot to the gaming industry, and it's going to be exciting to see where this goes, dude. I mean, Microsoft, it's an incredible company. You really can't debate that they know what they're doing, man. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about Microsoft buying out Activision Blizzard and signing out.